Liars, liars, liars. Narcissists are total liars, and they want you to believe them all the time. What are the top lies that narcissists want you to believe? I'm going to tell you in this video the top 8 lies that narcissists want you to believe. I'm Rebecca Zung. I am an attorney. I have been recognized as one of the top attorneys in the United States, and I've written 2 best-selling books, Negotiate Like You Matter and Breaking Free, a Step-by-Step Divorce Guide. And I have helped so many people get out of these relationships and into the lives that they want. And I want to help you too. And I've seen all the lies that narcissists tell, all of them. And I know the 8 worst lies that narcissists want you to believe. And I'm going to share them with you here in this video, and I'm going to go through them, the worst ones to the most heinous ones in this video. So watch all the way till the end here so that you can know what the worst ones are. Okay, so let's go through them now. The 8th worst one, we'll just go like 8th to first, right? Is I'm not really like this, right? That's one of the things that they'll say, I'm not really like this. Now, you know that they're actually really like that, right? And they'll often try to gaslight you by telling you that they're not normally like this. You know, they'll have a tantrum, or they'll go crazy, or they'll treat people poorly, or they'll do things that are awful, and you know, or they'll be doing things that are horrible for a while, or they'll be super depressed, or whatever it is. They'll just say that they're going through a phase, that they're under a lot of stress, that it's somebody else's fault, that it's because of the things that they're going through at work, that they're acting crazy because of their ex or whatever it is. But they'll say that they're not really like this, especially if it's early on in the relationship, because they'll let you know that it's just something that they're dealing with right now. The truth is that they're very much like that. The truth is that they're actually way worse than what they're showing you most of the time. And that, they're only revealing a little piece of the way that they really are. So that's the one of the lies that they want you to believe. The next one is that they'll let you know, one of the lies that they'll tell that they want you to believe, and this is a lie about you, is that you are the one that's overreacting. So that it's your behavior and not theirs. So this is a massive gaslight, by the way, massive gaslight. They'll say things like, you're overreacting when you haven't even raised your voice yet. I didn't mean to hurt you, or it's not a big deal. Stop making such a big deal out of things. Or, you're being oversensitive, or, the truth is that their behavior is a big deal. The truth is that what they did was really horrible. They can be as awful as possible, and they'll say you're overreacting. They will have treated you in a heinous, horrible way, and you can be hurt and feeling horrible, and they'll say you're overreacting. You can have found text messages or photographs or seen them with other people or whatever, and they'll say you're overreacting. So those are the types of things that they will say, but that's a massive gaslight, basically erasing your feelings, telling you that the way that you feel is not okay. So that's a massive lie, another lie that narcissists want you to believe. The next lie that narcissists want you to believe is I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. They are never sorry and they always mean it. So it's a, faux apology. I call them narcissist faux apologies. They will usually not apologize for their behavior. But if they do apologize for their behavior, it's only because they're trying to manipulate you into something else. Remember, everything that a narcissist does is a manipulation. So if they do apologize, it's because they are trying to future fake you, they're trying to get you to do something. They're, not going to ever undo that behavior that they did. They will definitely do it again in the future. So whatever it is that they did, let's say they called you a name, they will definitely call you that name again in the future. Let's say that they, whatever it is that they did, they cheated on you, I'm sorry, it won't happen again. They will definitely cheat on you again. So, they interrupted you when you were talking. Oh, that was horrible. I shouldn't have interrupted you. They will definitely interrupt you again when you're talking. So their apologies are completely meaningless. And you should, definitely take them with a grain of salt because it's a lie that they want you to believe. That's just crap, right? Narcissists are liars. That's what they are. Okay. The next lie that they want you to believe is that it's all your fault. For example, they might get fired from work or that they have poor performance at work or something like that. They will want you to believe that that's all your fault because you were, giving them lots of stress. And because of so much stress at home, they can't perform at work. And therefore, that's your fault because they're making lots and lots of mistakes at work or something like that. They aren't making the sales at work that they're supposed to be making. That's your fault. Anything that happens bad in their life, they'll say that it's your fault. They got super angry and did something that they weren't supposed to have done, hit walls, drove too fast, whatever, got a speeding ticket. That's your fault. They will cheat on you and say that was your fault. I ended up having to cheat on you because you weren't a good spouse. If you had been nicer to me, if you had been more attentive to me, I wouldn't have cheated on you. So therefore, that's your fault. That's a lie that narcissists want you to believe. The truth is, had they had more integrity, had they been a better person, they wouldn't have needed to cheat on you. If you had just done what I wanted, I wouldn't have had to hit you. That is, again, a lie they want you to believe. The truth is their behavior is their fault. They need to take responsibility for their own behavior, just as you have to take responsibility for your own behavior. Okay? It's a lie that narcissists want you to believe. The next lie that narcissists want you to believe is that you are being too sensitive. Again, narcissists will invalidate your feelings. They will tell you that you are being too sensitive. And by the way, they are ridiculously oversensitive. I mean, you can say something that's completely innocuous, and they'll say that you slighted them in some way, that you had some crazy tone. And I always joke that narcissists hear tones like dogs hear whistles. Like, even if there's no tone, they hear tone. And you think, I didn't have anything with tone. They'll tell you that you were shouting and you didn't even shout. And they'll say, you're delusional, you were shouting. They'll start shouting at you and you'll say, please don't raise your voice. And they'll say, I was just matching your tone and you didn't shout ever at all. But, you can't ever shout. They'll tell you you're being too sensitive when they're the ones who are ridiculously sensitive. When they said something that was horrible to you, like you have a massively huge behind or something, and you'll say, please don't say that. And you'll say, oh, it was just a joke. Stop being so sensitive. It was just a joke. Ha, 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 ha. They add like ha to the end of a sentence, and that's supposed to be funny. You can't take a joke. Come on. And, I've actually heard teenage girls with their boyfriends say things like, oh, that's just a joke that we have between us. They'll actually, go along with it and say that it's okay. Don't do that. Don't say that it's okay. Don't gaslight yourself. Those are red flags. These are lies that narcissists want you to believe. If it's hurtful, then it's hurtful. It's not okay if you're being disrespected, okay? You're not being too sensitive. They are being hurtful. So don't allow your feelings to be invalidated. Jokes at your expense are not funny. When they say you're too sensitive, that's not true. Don't use jokes or things like that as an excuse to invalidate your feelings. And when they say things like, oh, my attempt at humor, I'm sorry for my attempt at humor or something like that. That's not an apology. That's not an apology. An apology is, I shouldn't have said that. That was disrespectful, period. So you're being too sensitive is a lie that narcissists want you to believe. If you agree with me, put liars in the comments right now. Liars. They are liars. These are lies that narcissists want you to believe, right? Lies that narcissists want you to believe. All right. So the next lie that narcissists want you to believe is that you are imagining things. So huge. So huge. I actually had a client in my law practice watch her husband. She followed her husband with a woman all the way to a hotel, go into the hotel. They stayed in the hotel for a couple of hours. She sat in the car, watched her husband and the woman come out of the hotel, told the husband that she saw the woman and him go into the hotel, stay in the hotel, go out of the hotel. And then the husband said, you're imagining things. That didn't happen, that they did go in there, but they didn't do anything in the hotel but talk. That's all they did was talk while they sat in the hotel room. And she said, okay, that she believed him. I'm telling you that is a massive gaslight. And these are lies that narcissists want you to believe. You're imagining things. That didn't happen. You're mistaken. I would never do that. The narcissist gaslights you into doubting your own reality. That's what they do. So, and when it happens over and over and over again, you start to believe these things. You start to believe that you're crazy. And I think that you have to just start remembering, you have to start to push back on yourself and go, no, that is not true. Your reality is different than mine. We see things differently. That is not how it happened. That is not what I'm seeing. All right. So that is another common lie that narcissists want you to believe. You're imagining things. Another lie that narcissists want you to believe is it's not a big deal. It is not a big deal. The narcissist will try to downplay the severity of their hurtful behavior by telling you that things are not a big deal. They might say something like, it's It's not a big deal if I cheat on you because I love you. The other person didn't mean anything to me. You're the one that means everything to me. The other one, it was just sex. You are the one that I love. So it's not a big deal. It is a big deal. It is a big deal. And that's a lie that they want you to believe. Oh, you know what? It's not a big deal if, I made a big mistake at work. We lost some money. It's not a big deal because I can get it back. You know what? It is a big deal because it's an integrity issue. They get you to not focus on what is the problem. These are lies that they want you to believe. And they don't want you to see the truth. The truth is that their behavior is not acceptable. That's the truth. So it is a big deal. So these are lies that the narcissist wants you to believe. And the last one is the biggest one and the most important one here. And that is the final lie, the biggest, the hairiest, the scariest lie that the narcissist wants you to believe. And this is the one when you're trying to leave, you're trying to get out the door, you're trying to discard, you're trying to finally escape. Your hair is on fire. You're like in survival mode. It's like, let me get out of here. And that is, the narcissist will say, I'll change. I can change. You'll see. It will all be different. That is a massive lie. It is a future fake. They will promise. They will promise to do anything. They will promise to be better in the future. You'll see. I know I've been acting this way. You'll see the better version, and they'll be better for a little while, which tells you, by the way, that they know how they're supposed to be. They know how they're supposed to act. They know that their behavior is wrong, but it won't last. It'll only last for a little short period of time, and then it'll start to come back. They will never keep their promises. They will start acting the way that they were before, only it'll be worse. It'll end up being worse. And it will be, so much more heinous than it ever was in the past. The narcissists aren't capable of change, and it's going to end up being spiraling. So know that narcissists can't change. That is the worst lie of all, the worst lie of all. If you are dealing with a narcissist, make sure that you get the help and support that you need. Make sure you've subscribed to this channel, hit that notification bell. I do have a private Facebook group, Narcissist Negotiators with Rebecca Zung, and I have a free ebook that you can get at crushmydeal.com, free 15-page ebook. And you definitely want to get that if you're dealing with a narcissist, you're trying to negotiate with a narcissist. I've had many people win their entire negotiations just on that, crushmydeal.com. And the next video that you should watch is Narcissist Nastiest, Sneakiest Methods. For sure, you're going to want to watch that. Narcissist Nastiest, Sneakiest Methods. I will see you in that video. Remember that today is a great day to start negotiating your best life. I'm Rebecca Zung, and I'll see you in that next video.